Hello, everybody.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm tired. Better than earlier.
Yeah, you had a pretty nasty migraine.
I did. I almost thought about asking you to take me to the emergency room last night because my head hurt so bad.
That was pretty bad. That's pretty gnarly. Haven't had one of those in a while.
It's been a long time since I had one that bad.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, well, this is sort of new, is it not? I mean, I told you one of these days we'd be able to get her on camera. Okay, so let's just put it this way. Welcome to the Stafford Voice. I think we should take just a second or two to kind of talk about the differences that we'll have now versus what we did previous with the show.
Okay.
What are you okay with that?
Sure.
So, obviously, nothing up our sleeves. Somebody else is wearing long sleeves. I got nothing up my sleeves. Okay, so here's what we're up against. We noticed with focusing 100% on politics, things were getting really, really nasty. Neither one of us liked it. Neither one of us liked it at all. So, what we decided to do was put the show on pause, kind of figure out what direction we wanted to take things. And here we are. Here's what we got. Somewhat, I was going to say slightly, but somewhat new and improved show, hopefully. Instead of focusing 100% on politics, the idea and the hope is that we will be focusing more on family. We'll be focusing more on the topics of marriage and children and just everyday life.
Stuff that I don't think really very many people talk about in general.
No, because and that's one of the things that kind of caught our attention was, and maybe it was just because we were just so wrapped up in talking about politics and following everything that went along with that, and it just bogged us down. So for a long time we've been wanting to talk about some of these topics of marriage and family and children and how all of it relates and the things of everyday life and, you know, some of the struggles that you guys and us have dealt with. It's hard enough out there. Throw politics in the mix and it's a nasty combination.
Well, I feel like it makes life more confusing.
Way more confusing. Because, and even if you get on social media and you start trying to get into a conversation, as civil as you want to be, it always turns nasty. It does. I mean, just one simple comment, and the next thing you know, your Facebook wall is just filled with nasty comments.
Or you lose friends that you've had for forever.
Or family. You lose family.
That too.
Lost family members because they talk about politics.
Well, and then I've lost them too because I'm married to you and I agree with a lot of what you say. So, but yeah, I mean, we've lost good friends that we've had for years just over silly politics.
And that's what it is. It's silly. Sorry, I'm trying to flip back and forth, just making sure stuff works where it's supposed to. And it's working. I have to establish a boundary that whatever I set with technology, it's going to hopefully work the way it's designed to. And
that's your lead-in?
That's kind of the lead-in, but before we do that, I got to remind you guys, wherever you're at, if you're on Facebook, it's a simple search. All you got to do is just search for the Stafford Voice. If you're on Twitter, it's at Stafford Voice. Instagram, I think, is at the Stafford Voice or something like that. I don't know how you tag on Instagram. I just kind of go on there and I look at what my friends are posting.
I'm on Instagram or Twitter, so
Don't. It can get bad. It's such a time waste.
Well, Facebook itself can be such a time waste.
Yes.
So I can't imagine having the other two.
We can't really say that because
well,
we're trying to get people to watch us on Facebook.
No, but I'm just saying, like, I'll go to break at work and I only have 15 minutes, and I think, oh, I'm just gonna scroll real quick, and the next thing you know, my break's over, and I'm like, what the heck? I just
you didn't even have time to eat.
Well, I don't usually eat on break. Well, except my morning break, but yeah. But lunch can be the same way. I mean, you're eating lunch and you're scrolling through Facebook, and then all of a sudden your lunch is over, and you're like, what did I just do?
Yeah. Social media is such a time suck. But,
it can be good too.
It can
for
be.
Good things.
So here's the deal. All of that stuff is we're done. We're moving on. Let's move on from it.
Okay.
So the topic that we've kind of had in the back of our minds for quite a while, for a couple of weeks at least.
Mine was a little bit longer than that, I think, for me. I don't know how long. It's been for a couple months, I think, for me, just struggling with how I needed to
establishing some boundaries.
Yeah.
Here's what we've done. If you guys have followed us on social media, you guys know that every week we read a chapter or two out of a book together.
That we've picked together.
We've mutually decided on a book. So she gets a copy, I get a copy. And if you guys have a copy or want to follow along, you're more than welcome to, because that's what we're going to do with this show. We're going to talk about some of the things that we find interesting in what we're reading. Because a lot of the things is applicable to what we're going through, and I feel like
there's probably a lot of people.
I
out there
feel
that
like
are going through the same thing.
a lot of you are going through the same thing.
It's not just only these people. I'm sure plenty of people have.
Right. So we've decided on a book called Boundaries. We're 100 pages in? Just a little over 100 pages, and oh my gosh. Wow.
Maybe that's why I had a migraine.
Could have been. But what we were talking about earlier tonight, I think, kind of cements some of the things that we talked about while we were over at my aunt's house. Some family was in town. We got to see their beautiful little... She's 5 months old?
Yeah.
5 months. Oh my gosh, time is flying by.
She's so cute.
Gavin is 1 year old. Oh, time is flying by so quick.
I'm now considered middle-aged.
40.
I know, right?
Do you feel different?
No.
I'm 39 now. I don't feel any different.
I just remember being really little, probably like 10, and you think, oh, people that are in their 30s or 40s are so old, and then you get there and you're like,
it's not that old.
It's not that old. I mean, there are days I feel really old.
I feel like I have more energy and more strength than most of the 20-year-old kids running around today. I'm going to be honest.
I don't know. I see some of those kids, they'll go out partying at nighttime and come in the
but
morning.
They're 100% worthless the next day.
True.
I go from the time I get up in the morning, 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, and by the time my head hits the pillow, somewhere between 10 and 10:30, I'm already snoring.
You're snoring like 5 minutes after your head hits the pillow. I hadn't even got a chance to and you're already...
No room for decompression. Nope.
No. But I can remember always having trouble going to sleep. Even as a kid, I remember laying in bed for at least 45 minutes before I could probably fall asleep. I would be tired and ready to go to bed, but I don't know if my brain shuts off.
Mine doesn't.
Apparently
I know mine
does.
Because I wind up waking up in the middle of the night. My head's racing with thoughts. I'm thinking about this. I'm thinking about that. What am I going to do with this? How am I going to talk about this topic with somebody else tomorrow? It's things like that I don't know how to shut my brain off, and maybe that's a topic for another day.
I know I've heard and read that one thing to do is to write down everything before bed.
No, because I can't do it.
Worse.
It does.
Because then I keep thinking, oh, I got this, and I got this, and I got that.
It's it's not even that. It's once I start writing something down, next thing you know, I got a whole page and a half of notes that I'm just about the one thing. I just can't. I can't shut down.
I can't either. So writing stuff down doesn't really help for me because it
There's
just makes
gotta
it
be
worse.
There's got to be some way to put a boundary there on yourself.
We need to have a talk with our mind and be like, listen, here's a boundary. We're going to bed. Lights are shutting off. We're not letting anything in.
I don't know how you do it. I don't know how a person does that.
Okay, I thought you were talking
no,
to me,
I'm
and
not.
I'm like,
I'm
I
not,
have no idea.
No, I'm saying I don't know how an individual. I don't know how any person does that and is good with doing it.
I don't know. Maybe somebody out there
so
have an answer that we might be able to.
So question for the day: if you are really good at being able to decompress and shut your mind off at the end of the day, hit us up on some social medias and let us know what are some of your tips and tricks. And also, I think I have it pinned both on the Stafford Voice, on Facebook, and on the Twitter. I think I've got it pinned at the top, but if you go to the staffordvoice.com, over on the right-hand side, you'll see this weird little purple-looking box for our Discord server. Please, feel free, jump in there. You can... Bless you.
Thank you.
You can use most I think you can use most different forms of social media to sign in and set up an account. And I get it. It's another app on your phone or another website to visit, but honestly, it's a really great place to be able to carry on some of these conversations. There's no other distractions. It's just a group of people that want to go and chat about some of these other topics, and it's easier to follow along. So if that's your thing, that sort of thing is my bag, baby, that you can, it's kind of like one-stop shopping. You don't have to go to Instagram or Facebook or Twitter to find the bulk of what's being talked about. It's already there. So again, let's jump into boundaries. This is really kind of a hard topic.
It is. My nose is itchy.
It's probably because people are thinking about you.
It could be just the rain that we've had too.
And we need the rain. Oh my gosh.
It's been raining all afternoon, which is a good thing.
So.
All right, so.
Boundaries. This is. Yeah, I know you're like on the edge of your seat. This is like you're like.
Because.
This is something that is difficult for a lot of people to talk about.
My problem is just we have an idea. Okay, this is what we need to do with the issues we have. It's just. Now putting it into play. That's my problem. Is it sounds so much easier than it probably is going to be.
Yeah, it's easy to say, "Oh, I'm gonna tell so and so to their face." No, you can't do that.
Boundaries.
Nope. Yep. Talk to the hand. This is the wall. By the way, we got to talk about walls and fences and gates and opens and shuts.
You're not supposed to build a wall. You're
okay, hang on.
Gate.
Time out, because I think first off we got to define for. We have to define for ourselves what is a boundary.
Something that makes you uncomfortable.
No, that's what it makes you. It makes you uncomfortable.
Okay. A boundary is something that will make me uncomfortable, whether it's something that somebody says, does.
Makes you feel better about the situation. It shuts everybody out. A boundary what did I write down? Oh, page. I got it. I have it marked here. In the book. I
didn't mark any pages.
I did. I took notes when we were discussing this earlier. Okay, so, and this is what the authors put as their law number 10, the law of exposure. It says a boundary is a property line. It defines where you begin and end. Your boundaries define you in relation to others. The law of exposure says that your boundaries need to be made visible to others and communicated to them in relationship. Now, and establishing boundaries brings on a whole different level of fears and frustrations and issues in and of themselves.
So if you didn't have anxiety before,
guess what?
You now got it.
You're in for a roller coaster ride. And one of the things it talks about in here is it says, because of these fears, we try to have secret boundaries. Secrets are not good. Secrets are not your friend, okay?
Well, and secrets always come out.
They do. It says we withdraw passively and quietly instead of communicating an honest no to someone we love. We secretly resent instead of telling someone that we are angry about how they have hurt us. Often we will privately endure the pain of someone's irresponsibility instead of telling them how their behavior affects us and other loved ones. Information that would be helpful to their soul.
I think that's probably what I've been doing. So that's why I wanted to read the book Boundaries, because I feel like maybe that's what I was doing. I didn't necessarily tell the people that I have problems with, hey, I have a problem, this is what you're doing. I never, I guess, maybe expressed it good enough. So maybe it was kind of secret.
Yeah,
I didn't know, but...
Right, and I think a lot of us listening right now have that same issue. We have boundaries, but we keep them a secret. It's like, I want you to come closer, or I want you to go away. Most of the time for me, it's go away. There's very few people I want to invite in my inner circle.
It's a very small circle.
It's very, very small, okay? If you make it into the circle, it's going to be hard for me to kick you out because there's like a very long vetting process. But here's the thing. Once you establish a boundary, and again, this is my thought. Once you establish a boundary and you make it known and both parties understand it, then it's much easier. But it's getting to that point and crossing the proverbial gate. We need to touch on that. So once you cross that proverbial gate, that is, I think it becomes easier. But it's developing the walls or the gates or the fences that you have to put up in order to establish these boundaries.
And I think that's where my problem is going to be right now, is I want to put those gates up for certain people, but I don't want to...
What kind of fence are you working with? Because I don't want to work with a chain link fence. I'm looking for more like a 19-foot privacy fence where people can't see in.
Well, didn't it say in one of the earlier chapters, you could have like a moat?
No, that was me. I told you.
No, I thought it was in there too.
I said they need a moat because they got to cross the moat full of alligators and sharks with laser beams. Before, if you can make,
beams.
Yeah, freaking laser beams. Once they pass that.
But then they still have to get through.
They still got to get through the
like
gate.
Like a stone fence.
Right. You make it over the fence, and then there's
spikes on top.
Then there's guard dogs. There's like landmines.
We sound awful.
No, it's really being guarded. It's guarding yourself.
Well, then I have built the wall that apparently Donald Trump needs to build for Mexico, because no one can come in.
But there are times where...
Except for my people, my small group of people.
But how can they get in if there's no gate or door? You gotta put a gate or a door.
There's a teeny tiny little door. They have to shrink like Alice in the
Honey,
Wonderland.
I Shrunk the Kids?
Well, no, Alice in the Wonderland, when she drinks that little potion and she shrinks really small. And then she drinks another potion, doesn't she? It's been so long since I've read the book, or I've never read the book. I've seen the movie.
Didn't read the book, didn't read the book or watch the movie.
I think at one time she drinks a potion
I'll take your word for it. I'll take your word for it.
Somehow gets bigger again.
I will take your word for it.
I'm going to have to find that and do it.
That's fine. I will take your word for it.
But yeah, I know. I need to build a fence.
So, what kind of...
gate.
Yes, you got to put... You have to put a gate there so people can get in. Or get out. Because at some point...
they're like scratching the fence. I need out.
These people are loony. I got to get out of here. But no, that's okay.
That's okay that they think
it's your boundary. It's nothing. It's not for other people. Sometimes it's going to have to be there in order to protect others. But
I didn't think about that.
But they're to protect you.
I know. And then that's where my stupid emotions come in, and I'm like, I don't want to offend anybody. I don't want to hurt anybody. I don't want them to hurt. But I know that it's going to have to happen.
It does. But, and there was another thing in here. Oh, they talked about setting false motives. Yeah, false motives that keep us from setting these boundaries. One of them was fear of loss of love or abandonment.
That would be me.
Okay. Fear of others' anger.
That would be me.
Me, I just don't give a shit.
Your whole family's like that.
For the most part, they just don't give a shit.
I think out of everybody that was there yesterday, it was just your cousin and I that probably have an issue. Everyone else is like,
what? Okay, okay. There was a point yesterday where my cousin was coming in from the garage after checking on her husband, and we were trying to explain a boundary to my grandmother.
How many times has this happened with your family, though?
But
like they come into the room and they're like, oh.
Yeah, but you know what I was imagining? At the time she was getting ready to walk through, I saw the door open, and what I imagined was that tiny little kid that walks down the hallway and is like, nope, I'm out. I'm out of here.
Because it was funny, the door opened for what, like 2 seconds?
2 seconds, and she realized that she was being talked to, and a boundary that she had set that somebody else was voicing for her.
Because she was uncomfortable voicing it.
100% uncomfortable.
And I totally get it.
I do too. Nobody wants to tell their grandmother no.
But your aunt was okay telling her mom no.
Yes, but that's your mom. You could tell your mom or your dad no.
Maybe she could, but I can't.
You can't tell grandma or grandpa no. You can't. I never could.
I just like seeing grandma go on. It's fun. It's like, you know, you post.
Despite the fact I've told her to pull her head out of her ass and wait for the pop.
That was so long ago.
It was. We laughed about it yesterday.
Yeah, we did.
We did. Which...
When was that you said that?
Oh, it's probably been 12 years.
I say Daniel must have been really little at the time.
12 or 13 years ago.
Apparently she's forgiven you.
Mom was going through cancer. Okay. Which is funny because as I was thinking about the show earlier today, I found a quote from Jim Carrey. I'm going to change one of the words just because I don't particularly like saying the word. I mean, it's fun to say at times, but there's a time and a place, and this isn't it. He said, this is from Jim Carrey. He says, when you truly don't care what the heck anyone thinks of you, you've reached a dangerous level of freedom.
I'm not there yet.
I've still got some work to do, but for the most part, I really don't give a shit.
You've always been that way.
I don't care.
Always have that, and I admire that. Actually,
listen. I can make fun of about anything.
Yeah.
No matter what, I'm the guy at a funeral that's like, well, at least she wasn't late to her own party.
You'd probably play Pop Goes the Weasel during the funeral.
Yeah.
Hoping the casket would pop up.
Yes, that's a good idea. I'm going to cue that up on my phone, and the next time they have like an open casket, I'm going to be like, do 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 boop. Oh, so bad.
This is why I have to go to heaven first. I got to get somebody in.
Yes.
I got to sweet talk Heavenly Father and be like, really, he's a great guy.
I'm shaking my head no right now.
But then here I am laughing at it. So.
See, listen, I like to have fun. I like to make other people laugh. I don't want to piss people off. But sometimes you have to. Sometimes that's the only way to get through. Is, you stick your head over your fence, your boundary. You stick your head over your fence and say, I'm not playing your games. Go home.
Mine would be more like grab a ladder
And you
like,
set it up and
it.
yeah, and you're like, come on over.
No. Well, no, yeah, I would probably let them come over because I would feel bad for sticking my head over the fence and going.
But you need to.
But then it would make them feel bad.
It doesn't matter.
Because then they
listen.
might be
This
sad.
this is about a positive negative. You and I have talked about this for like 2 weeks now. This is a positive mindset versus a negative mindset, and this is where I'm at. And it's really hard to get to this point, in my opinion. It's really hard to get here because as a people person, you want to please people. It's inherent in all of us, I think, that we want other people around us to be happy. And we are willing to take that burden upon ourselves that at the end of the day, okay, I can sit down and say 10 out of 10 people that I dealt with were happy. I'm miserable, but none of that matters because they were happy. But at some point, what did I write down? I wrote it down earlier. Okay, so lack of boundaries brings on a feeling of overwhelmment, which brings on fatigue, which brings about depression. And how many times have you and I been there? I know I've been there quite a few times over the last few years. And it sucks.
It does.
It really does. And I think it's because of not establishing these boundaries. So, excuse me, for me, it's having that positive negative mindset of, is this going to make me happy? Yes or no? If the answer is yes,
then bring it in.
Then come on in. If the answer is no, read between the lines. Talk to the hand. I'm not dealing with it.
I just thought of Jim Carrey. What movie was that where he plays the trumpet?
That one?
Yeah. What movie was that?
Or like the...
No, that wasn't. No, the trumpet. But that one's funny too.
Yeah, or you can go fishing.
Are you supposed to be flipping off the camera?
No, I'm not trying to flip them off.
I know.
I'm trying to teach them new things.
Are you trying to?
They may not know. They might not know the fisherman one.
I've seen the fisherman one before. I think from you.
Make a movie.
We're not getting into heaven.
No. Yeah, we will. Somebody else will help us. The kids will help us.
They got to go first, then.
It's a good point. I'm not going. Oh. Okay, anyway.
Gavin's going to be the only one up there. It's going to be like, where's my family?
Yeah. No, my mom's there, so she can help us.
We need to have a talk with her.
She can help us. She'll do it for us. Okay, so what the hell were we even talking about? Oh, boundaries. So positive, negative mindset. If it's positive, yes, sure, come on in. If it's negative, then I ask myself a series of questions. Do I have the time, the energy, the physical energy, or the emotional energy to handle the consequences? Yes or no? If the answer is no, then F off. I'm not dealing with it. If the answer is yes, then am I willing to honestly accept the consequences of this investment of time, physical energy or emotional energy? And if the answer is yes, then I have to deal with it. I have to accept it.
Can you go back, though, after if you say, sure, I'll accept it?
You have to be all in.
All in or not in? All
in or not in. If you've reached the point to where you're willing to let the negative in, you have to go all in and accept it. Because one of two things is going to happen. One of the two interested parties is going to walk away feeling better about it. More than likely, it's going to be both. But the biggest part of the change is growth. Both interested parties have an opportunity from growth. One, you're stretching yourself and you're not only pushing your boundaries, but you're letting somebody else push your boundaries. And there's that give and that take, I think, that turns a lot of people off.
But what if you accept that negative, you're going to accept it and you're going to go all in, but then it just doesn't go well on the other person's part. Like, they're still being negative all the time. They're not growing. They're not learning. They're not understanding.
It doesn't matter. You only let them in for that one time. You're not letting them in all the time. You're just letting them in for a split second.
And then kick them out.
And then you kick them out. Yeah, it's because you put up a gate. Somebody should have put up a gate for the cat, because the cat's invading our boundaries.
Here she comes.
Meow. So that's the thing. I mean, you have to. There's a level of vulnerability that you have to accept.
Yeah.
Nobody likes to be placed in a vulnerable situation.
No.
It's not fun.
No. And that's
because
that's what's hard getting to.
Because A, you're scared that you're going to hurt their feelings. B, you're worried about yourself. C, or you're worried about that you're going to, when you hurt their feelings, they're going to be mad at you, or they're going to completely cut you off. And then again, that feeling of overwhelmment, or some people like to overanalyze the situation and be like, oh, well, if I make the kids mad, then they won't ever come around, and we'll never get to see Gavin again, and we'll this and that, and we'll never get to see Gavin grow up, and Gavin will hate us, and that's not gonna happen.
But I do that with everything. I do that with my parents. I do that with my sisters. I do that with people I work with. I even do that with you. I come up with these stupid scenarios that are probably never going to happen.
They're not going to happen.
and it's like I was telling you, it's like you have this sane side in your head, and then you have this not so sane side in your head, and they're like arguing with each other. The sane side's like, well, that was dumb. But then the insane side's like, well, or this could happen, or this could happen. I know.
It's hard.
Very hard. But we got a cat.
Yeah.
Who doesn't have boundaries.
The cat has no boundary. Well, yes, she does. If you're a kid, don't get in her bubble.
No, but she wakes us up in the middle of the night, even though she knows our boundaries is we're sleeping. She wakes up in the middle of the night. She takes up your space in the bed.
She's like flopped, and now she's going to get up. She's rubbing her face on everything now. And you have to have boundaries in all areas of life. And I think that's what's hard is you get to a point to where you feel like you have so many boundaries.
And you feel a little overwhelmed at trying to get them established.
Well, and even when you have them established, even when you have the boundaries established, other people don't recognize that there's a boundary. For instance, myself, I didn't realize that somebody else very close to me had set a boundary. I didn't realize that it was a boundary. And here I am fighting against it.
But I think that was a secret boundary. I don't even know if that person really knows that they have.
It was an unspoken boundary, yes, but it took somebody on the outside looking in to say...
Someone who's seeing it from a different perspective.
Seeing it from a different perspective and an analytical side saying, but that's their boundary.
Yeah.
They're pushing and you're trying to pull, and that's not going to work. It's got to be a give and a take. There has to be a boundary of respect that, it's a two. All I saw was a tail. It's a two-way street.
Yeah, I didn't look at it that way either until that was spoken, and then I thought, oh, that makes sense.
But... And I don't like it. I don't like the fact that there's that boundary.
But we have to accept it?
I do. I'm trying very hard to accept it and come to terms in my head that that's the wish.
And that's another hard part for me, is I don't want to accept it.
No. But because
I feel like it's wrong, that what that person has established is wrong.
But it goes back to the golden rule.
I know.
Treat others how you want them to treat you. So if they're saying, no, you got to respect these boundaries, I'm putting these up, this is where it's at, you can't see me, I'm John Cena. Sorry, pop culture reference. You know, that level of respect has to be there.
I know. But then it makes me feel like I want to be kind of a smarty pants and be like, well, fine, if you have that boundary, then I have that too.
I tell you what, let's take a short little break, and we're gonna
continue talking.
We'll continue talking here in just a second. We're gonna hear a word about our sponsors. Not really our sponsors, but they're special friends we have to say thank you to. So we'll be right back. Okay, guys, how clean is your soap? Honestly, here's what I want you to do. I want you to do an experiment. I want you to, next time you're at the store, go grab a bar of soap. I want you to look at the list of ingredients, and I want you to try and pronounce half of them. Just half of them. You're going to realize that 10 to 15 of the ingredients listed in a simple bar of soap, you can't pronounce them. That bar of soap is just plain dirty. Well, what if I told you over at 76supply.com you can pick up a clean bar of soap? So clean that it's got 6 or 7 different ingredients. They're made by hand. It's a veteran-owned company. A portion of the proceeds goes to help veterans in need. You guys really should check them out. Try it out for yourself. Can you name all the ingredients in your bar of soap? Again, hit up 76supply.com. Crazy Good Eats. Can it be that crazy? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, it can be that crazy. Let me tell you how crazy it is. We're talking competition-style barbecue. Affordable price, but just so crazy and so good. Literally, the rib, you go and pick up a rib off the plate, the meat falls off. The meat's still there, the bone is in your hand. It's something straight out of the Flintstones. The beans to die for. The loaded baked potato salad. Jalapeno poppers. Burn ends, the brisket, the ham, the chicken, the turkey. Oh my God, it's a meat heaven. Anyway, you guys need to check them out. Crazy Good Eats in Olathe, Kansas. Competition style barbecue. It's the best. All right, guys, we're back. We had to give a special thanks to some people that help support us. It's only fitting, right?
Right.
We give them love, they give us love. I mean, it's just the two-way street. So back to that two-way street. The whole respect thing with boundaries. You know, the golden rule, I think, is kind of where we left off, where we're talking about, you know, how do you want somebody else to treat you? Do you want them to respect your boundaries? And you do. Mm-hmm. Do I always want to respect someone else's boundaries? Hell no, I don't.
Because it's not the way I want it.
It's not. Nobody wants to follow the rules. I mean, rules are meant to be broken, right? No, the answer is no. The rules are there for a reason.
They control things.
Yeah.
Sometimes, okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah. But again, these boundaries are a two-way street. So once you establish them, you have to be willing to accept somebody else's boundaries. And it's hard.
This whole boundaries in general is just hard. Establishing yours, you know, doing the confrontation, accepting their boundaries.
It's a process. You know, you sit and wrestle with yourself. Do I really want to set these boundaries? And once you decide on that, then you're like, okay, now I've decided on boundaries I'm going to set. Now I have to put them into practice. And oh God, now I'm going to not sleep tonight.
I never sleep, but very well. But,
It's because I'm over there snoring.
well, sometimes I don't hear you snore, but then I just wake up because I wake up.
So, we're really interested to hear from you guys on what you guys think. People are reacting to us. They're watching, but I'm not seeing
Any comments?
I'm not seeing any comments or anything. So, I mean, if you guys are out there watching this right now, leave a comment. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you think of the new format of, less politics and more real life stuff.
Or even if you have any information or anything that's worked for you on establishing boundaries. I mean, it's always good to hear how somebody else maybe has a success story.
Yeah. Like, so for instance, if you've set up, and I think this might be something that we talk about
in a week or two.
With talking about setting boundaries with family.
Yeah,
that's going to be a tough one.
I think that would be harder than with friends, probably.
Because that's family.
Because you've been with them all your life. There is the possibility that you're going to have holidays with them, and that makes it kind of scary to think that, if you've established a boundary with somebody and then they were upset about it, and then now you got to spend a holiday with them. I mean, how do you...
Well, I mean, if somebody's that freaking butthurt, then you don't invite them.
I gotta sneeze.
Well, sneeze.
It won't come out. It's
So-
making my eyes water.
And it really smells good in here.
Yeah. You got this nice little candle going over here.
Yeah. One of the vanillas from 76 Supply.
Oh my goodness. I really am.
Are you okay?
No, I feel like I gotta sneeze. It's making my nose itch. My eyes are watering because of it. It's all good.
You sure?
Yeah.
I know what's going to fix it.
What?
Coconut cream pie.
Yes. And your chocolate cake.
I'm going to have a piece of chocolate bundt cake that my aunt made. Oh, man.
Her coconut cream pie was good.
It was. It was
She
homemade.
changed
And
the recipe.
Well, it's because she used to use a box mix, but she would kind of change the way it was made.
But she did I think it was a coconut cream pudding mix is what she used to use all the time, but she wanted to make it more
Of a homemade from scratch type thing. Old-fashioned style. Which
probably healthier.
Totally dig.
Because then you don't have all the other ingredients that the pudding mix would have in it.
All those nasty processed things that nobody can pronounce. But man, it was good. And the crust was incredible. I just needed a spoon to eat the crust.
I asked her if she wanted
Well,
we could take
I
the crust home.
I had to be nice. I had to leave the other pie there.
Well, no, the one that was already empty. There was still crust.
I can hear my phone in the other room going haywire.
K-wire?
Haywire.
Haywire?
It's going haywire. I hear it dinging, and there's messages and ba-ding, bloom, ba-ding. So,
Okay.
anyway, again, guys, I'm interested to know, do you... She says there are comments. Why are the comments not coming across?
I don't have my phone in here to check to see.
Oh, that's going to really bug me. Welcome to your inbox. Whatever. Go to the page. Let's see if we can find out where these comments are hiding.
The elusive comments.
Videos. Let's go to videos. It says we're live.
Oh my goodness, look at me.
Woo!
I'm crazy.
Somebody looks like they're having fun.
Your eyes are closed.
Yeah, because I'm not... Look, there are comments.
Oh.
Aw, man. Jessica's talking like crazy. Why are we not seeing these comments?
She's like, pie?
Yeah. I like more real life, more relatable.
I agree.
Compromise. Yeah, compromise is hard.
Because the other person's got to be willing to compromise too, and they may not be as willing as you are.
I can't see.
All we're seeing is Jessica's.
I still don't get to see all of the... Here, let me go here and see if we can... I don't know why this is not... I don't know why I'm not seeing... Oh, well. Anyway, we,
It's only showing Jessica's comments.
I don't know why. Because it says that there's somebody else commenting. I can't see all the comments.
Do you want me to go grab my phone real quick?
No.
Maybe we'll see them after we're done.
Well, I hope so. I was wondering why you weren't answering. Haha. Seriously, that really bugs me. I don't know why.
Why? It's only showing one person's comments. And
Well,
not
it's only showing one person's, but I'm not...
seeing anything in the chat.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anybody... Here, let's refresh the chat and see... Nope. Let's see what we get here.
Nothing.
It still tries to give top chat. I don't want top. I want live.
But it's still not showing anything under live either.
Okay. So, obviously...
Has Facebook drawn boundaries?
They must have. Because I think this is showing us only the... Well, I don't know why it's saying it's only going... Oh. Okay. We gotta figure out... That's not what I want, though. Okay. I know what it's... Okay, so...
Oh.
Sometimes it's better to keep your comments to yourself. Sorry. I agree. Yeah, sometimes it is better to keep comments to yourself.
Yeah.
But if you're at a point where, you know, that level of hurt or frustration has reached a point where you feel like you have to open the gate no matter what and say, you know, I'm hurt or I'm offended. I don't expect you to say anything in response.
Maybe you just lay out what you have to say and then let that other person deal with
Yes.
when they're ready to deal with it.
Yeah. I think that's a very good way of putting it. Let's try and... Oh, we can shrink that down there. We can kind of see it now. That might work. We might have to do it that way next time. Okay, well, still can't really see all your comments, but... So, again, interested in what you guys think of the new format of the show, talking about real life stuff and far less about politics. You know, if there's something about politics or something that's a current event that's happening...
That maybe it's a big thing.
That maybe we'll talk about it, and we'll talk about it from our viewpoint, but... I really feel like we're losing connection as a group, as society, because of social media. We've lost track of being able to talk about issues and stuff like that without being so offended or affected or butthurt about things. You know, we have to accept things and move on. So if you guys like this, please let us know. It doesn't matter where or how, just let us know if you like it or hate it. We'd really like to know.
I like this better because I feel like maybe I can talk a little bit more because, I mean, yeah, politics is there, but sometimes politics stresses me out and it's hard to remember everything. And
you just want to throw your phone away, or you want to throw your phone across the room because stuff pisses you off so much. It's like, seriously, this is getting ridiculous.
I just have to sneeze.
So sneeze.
It won't happen. It just makes my nose itch, and I can't, like...
Okay. So, anyhow, that's probably all we're going to talk about this week.
I think we pretty much caught up from what we've read so far in the book
and what
until we're now.
And what we've talked about over the last 2 weeks, and some of the stuff that we've learned and tried to implement over the last couple of weeks. So, yeah.
Well, I don't even know if I've even had a chance to really implement. I know I'm trying to, just with like people at work, like and friends, try and think, okay, do I really want to talk about this with them? Do I really want to get into it? Because you may already know how they're going to react to whatever you say. So I've been trying to, I guess, filter what I say to people, trying to start drawing some boundaries with people that I may not have an issue with, but just make sure I do have boundaries set up. But I do need to, there are people that I do need to really establish boundaries with, and those are the ones that I'm kind of...
But even when you establish a boundary, or somebody else has established one for you, it doesn't take away the fact of what they really feel, how they really feel about you.
I feel like it will, but that's just, I think, my thinking.
There's
it's not going to be right.
I recognize the fact that people have boundaries set up around me, and I know it doesn't take away from the fact that how much they care about me. I know it doesn't take away the how much they love and care for me.
Well, and I agree, because I do know, I can think of a couple people right offhand that I think they have boundaries and we have boundaries, and I think we respect those for the most part, and we can still get along and have a good time and grow and learn to, learn each other. But I don't know if that sounded...
No, I get what you're saying.
But then there are some, I mean, I have a handful of people that I can think of that I'm just like, okay, I've got to establish these boundaries, and it's going to be painful.
Most of my problems aren't even with... I don't even have any problems with family right now. Most of all of my issues have to do with people outside of my family. And even issues with myself. So I have to kind of set up boundaries for myself.
Well, and that's, I think, one of the things that I have to work on too, is it's like, okay, what am I willing to accept and not accept? Yeah. And then when I say I'm not going to accept this, I have to be able to put it into action, and that's where I then get anxiety and feel overwhelmed, and so... Yeah.
Jess says, "Don't cry. It's okay."
Oh no!
Winky face.
No, my eye is itchy, and then I think I had an eyelash stuck under there, and I was like, "Holy crap!" And then I realized it's Facebook Live, and then I'm like, "Dang it!"
Yeah, people can see you.
I know.
Wave hi, Mom. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. Your mom, because your mom would watch. My dad's watching.
I don't know if my mom would watch. She doesn't get on Facebook daily. Oh. So she may see this like a week from now.
Dad was the one that said sometimes it's better to keep your comments to yourself.
I don't see him very much on Facebook, so it was nice seeing him comment.
Yeah, it was. I hope he's doing okay.
I know. He had surgery.
He had knee surgery, and then he had I think it was a bout of colitis that
I still have the picture that you showed me.
Colitis is not fun.
I don't really know that much about colitis, so I can't.
Basically, you get like an inflamed pocket in your intestines, and it gets inflamed, and you get blockages, and it gets real angry. Your intestines set up boundaries that like nothing is going to pass.
You shall not pass. But no, I keep thinking, every time I think about your dad and his surgery, the picture that he sent you of his knee after his surgery keeps popping up in my head, because I was like, are you sure you want to show me? And you're like...
Well, you didn't establish a boundary. Just put up the pukey face.
It was. I was like, I didn't want to see it. I couldn't even see my own incision when I had my surgery years ago. I almost passed out in the bathroom.
Well, it's like that show on TLC now, Dr. Pimple Popper one.
I won't watch that.
It's a show about a doctor lady that got famous on YouTube and Facebook for posting videos of her popping people's pimples.
I won't watch
I don't even think
show.
I could say that fast again, popping people's pimples.
I won't watch that show just because
I know it's going to
gross me out.
The dude came in and he said he needed to remove a boob off his side of it. She said it's not a boob.
Well, he was a boob.
He was a boob,
Did you see how he was We shouldn't judge people.
I'm not judging.
No.
But that's another thing that goes along with setting boundaries is you feel like you're being judged.
Oh my gosh. I feel like I'm being judged every day.
We need to save some for next week.
I'm sure we'll have more to talk about
next week it looks like we're going to talk about some myths about boundaries.
Some common myths.
Common myths. Myths.
And then there's the cat over here whining.
So, what was our question that we had asked them? How have you
established boundaries with friends, family?
Okay, so we've asked them too many questions.
No, that's the one that I remember is
the one I asked. Okay, so you asked one.
Okay.
Establishing boundaries for friends. How do you do it?
Or how has it worked for you?
How has it worked for you? My question was, how do you shut your mind off?
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that's not gonna happen with me.
Oh. Okay. So anyway, again, you come to times in your life where you feel like you're just not ready to do stuff, like having a kid. A lot of people say, I'll have a kid when I'm ready.
I don't think there ever is a time that you're going to be ready.
So that's why what is she doing?
She walked through a bag.
She walked through the handles of a plastic bag because she's not getting attention. Clearly we need to set up a boundary, shut the door for the cat.
She's not. She'll just put her paw underneath and jiggle it.
She will. She's done that before. I don't think she can with this door.
Oh, she does with our bedroom door. Because it's jiggled before. I think she puts her paw just underneath and just kind of jiggles the door. It's like, oh. And they say animals are dumb.
The cat's not dumb. So, what was I talking about? Brain fart. You smell it? The candle. It's vanilla scented.
That's not where my mind was going after you said it.
It's one of them candles from 76 Supply.
It smells really good.
Smells good. It's vanilla. The whole room smells good.
Gives a nice ambiance.
It does. They can see it right there. That was kind of... Where are we at here? Right there.
Oh, Jessica. I was trying to figure out what she was meaning. The cat
is saying love me. Yeah.
Took me a minute. Dang, my
What the hell were we talking about?
I don't remember now.
Oh yeah. So we were talking about how like people say they're not ready. They'll have kids when they're ready.
Yes.
And you said
I don't think there's ever a time.
There's never a time when you're ready. My reply back to that was going to be, that's why we did the show. We did the show even though we're not ready. There is stuff supposed to be popping up across the screen right here, Vanna White style. Supposed to be stuff popping up on the screen automatically. We didn't have a way to see your comments. We'll fix the comments. We'll figure that out.
And somebody didn't tell me we were doing the show today until yesterday.
Nope, dropped the bomb yesterday.
Yeah, I was like, wait, what?
Yep. Dropped it yesterday. Like it's hot. I dropped it like it's hot.
I got it.
Oh, boy. Anyway.
Never a dull moment.
That's because we have a knife sharpener.
Oh, jeez.
Okay. We really should end it. Okay, so anyway, we don't have the right music for an intro and an outro for the beginning and the end, and we don't have music for like going to break, and
we got some work
we're
to do.
Working on it. I promise. We're working on it.
We are a work in progress.
A work in progress. A work in process or a work in progress? Progress.
I thought it was progress. But
I
then
thought it was
just
process.
Like the ranch today when we were watching that.
By the way, if you guys haven't watched The Ranch on
Netflix,
you seriously got to watch it. It is very good. They wrote the show very, very well.
I think Sam Elliott, is that his name?
Yes.
Is like
love that guy. Oh man.
He is like my new favorite actor. He is hilarious.
He's funny.
I just got a vision of him.
He's good looking. He's got one hell of a mustache. His His voice?
I want to be just like him when I get old.
I wouldn't say that.
Well, I don't want to be...
I like the way you're put together.
I'm still going to be a woman.
That's good, because I like the way you're put
I just want to be smart-assy. Can I say that?
Yes, you can say smart-assy. I said shit earlier.
Okay, so anyways, we haven't got everything established yet.
No, not everything is 100% ready, but it doesn't matter. We did the damn thing anyway. Do the damn thing. Also, look, guys, honestly, if you want to follow along, grab the book Boundaries. Boundaries. We're
chapter
6 right now.
That's what we'll be reading this week.
That's what we're reading this week, and we will be talking about next week, I think, is common boundary myths. So if you're interested, pick it up. We need to, have it on the ready so we could drop a link for them.
Yeah.
So a buy now link. See, write that down.
I don't have my notes with me.
Papers over. I know, we did a really bad job. But it doesn't matter. I had a lot of fun.
I did. I enjoyed this. I feel like I feel more comfortable doing this type of show rather than a politics type of show.
Yes.
I feel like maybe I can open up and be a little bit more vulnerable, even though I said that right.
Tear down this wall. That's the guy's that's his ringtone on the show, The Ranch. Seriously, guys, this show is funny. It's not as good as this. It is.
Well, you're funny.
Whatever. Okay, so anyway, peace out. Love you guys. Again, you guys are more than friends. You guys are family. Obviously, there's
Oh, Gavin.
Gavin's been watching. That's because he's recognizing who we are now, and
We're
so
Oma
that's
and Opa, and he says our name.
He's trying. He's trying to say
He
Oma
says it
Opa.
perfectly in my view.
Yeah, but he's still trying.
I know, but he says it perfectly. I'm like, oh, you melt my heart.
It's be still my heart. You complete me.
That's what I was going for. I just couldn't remember. I need to do that.
Because that goes all the way back to the beginning of the show. Sharks with laser beams.
With frickin' laser beams.
Frickin' laser beams. Oh. Anyway.
We have to be good if Gavin's watching us. We can't say bad things.
What?
We can be funny, but we can't say bad words because then Gavin will want to repeat them.
Then we have to get a boop button.
A boop button.
Boop, 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 boop.
Boopstachios.
Boopstachios. Okay. We need to go because there's coconut cream pie calling your name. There's a chocolate bundt cake calling a slice of chocolate bundt cake calling my name.
And the next time we have dinner with Jessica and Daniel, I will try and attempt to make the coconut cream pie. Because Jessica was like, pie?
Yeah.
So I will attempt to make it.
Maybe next week we can have dessert with them.
Oh.
They can watch us eat dessert and they can all be jealous because we've put up a boundary that they can't get.
So now we put up a wall, but we put a window in it for them to look.
Yeah, it's a chain link fence. You can see through it.
You have a chain link fence. I have a wall with this teeny tiny hole like a dog. Look at there.
All right, guys, love you. You guys are more than friends. You guys are family. Honestly, we're here. We're chatting. This is good.
This is us.
Let's carry on this conversation on social media. If you want, you can hit us up on Twitter at Stafford Voice, on Facebook, The Stafford Voice, or you can, obviously you can email your questions, comments, or concerns to thestaffordvoice@gmail.com, or you can go over to The Stafford Voice and you can click that little purple banner over there that says Discord, and you can join the Discord server, and you can chat with us over there. Both of us are in there. Wink, wink. You need to download the app and get signed in. I was
thinking that earlier.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So that's a really good place to carry on these type of conversations because really not a lot of people want to air out their dirty laundry on social media.
And that's understandable.
It is understandable.
I get it.
But you guys always have a spot in our heart. We genuinely care about you. And if there's ever an issue like this, like talking about boundaries or marriage or raising kids,
we're no experts.
We're not experts, but we'll look into it and we'll learn along with you. And
maybe you guys could teach us something. I mean,
yeah, we're here to learn just as much as you are, and we will return it back to you and tell you. So if you guys teach us something, we will turn it back over to you, and we will not only challenge you to learn more about it, but we will learn about it as well and report back to you. So again, it's a very interactive show. So with that, we're signing off. We want to thank each one of you for watching, and if you're listening to a replay, again, thank you so much. You can find the show on Spotify or iTunes or iHeart or Spreaker or any other podcast catchers that you have. It's on Stitcher. I've been using Stitcher to catch all my podcasts that I listen to. So again, thank you so much. Feel free to share it with your friends. Like it, subscribe, hit a notification thing that you have to do so you're notified at all times, and leave a review if there's a spot for you to. So we'll see you guys next time. Thanks and God bless.
Bye.